Jesus is going to take care of us. He's going to take care of you. He's going to take care of me. That's a promise we need to claim. He has an abundant amount of compassion, an abundant amount of strength and power to provide for our needs. But not only is he going to take care of us, you, me, especially if you're a child of God, what we see in this text of the feeding of the 4,000 is that Jesus has compassion on the crowds. And if you remember, it does appear that Matthew is making a firm distinction between the crowds and the disciples. The disciples are a group of people beyond the 12 that are followers of Jesus and have come to him to learn from him. The crowds, on the other hand, are those who receive the great privileges and the miracles and the healings, but they've not quite stepped over into the discipleship land. They've not stepped over to become an actual follower of Jesus. And there always seems to be a distinction between the disciples, the group of disciples, and then the crowds. What we see here is that Jesus is having compassion on the crowds, those that have come to him and brought all of these people. In yesterday's reading, we saw all of these people being brought to Jesus to be healed. So let's see what Jesus does. Then Jesus called his disciples. See again, distinction here. He calls the disciples to him, probably the 12 in this situation. And he said, I have compassion on the crowd because they've been with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. So Jesus is abundant in compassion. Here's our promise to claim. He says, I am unwilling to send them away hungry, lest they faint on the way. That is a promise for us to claim, is that Jesus is unwilling to leave those around us hungry. He doesn't want them to experience more of the pain and the emptiness that they have, whether that be physical hunger or some other need that they have. He is unwilling to send them away empty. So he wants to deal with this problem. Do you claim that promise of God? Do you think that is still true of God today? Still true of Jesus Christ, who's ruling and reigning at the right hand of the Father today? Do you think that he is unwilling to send people around us away hungry, away empty? Verse 33, here's what Jesus says. The disciples said to him, where are we going to get enough bread in such a desolate place to feed so great a crowd? We'll see that it's 4,000 men in addition to the women and children that are with them. There's a lot of people that need to eat. And they're asking Jesus, how are we going to take care of all these people? Keep in mind, this is a separate event from the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus has already fed 5,000 people in Matthew chapter 14. Now he's going to feed 4,000. So they've already seen this miracle of God to happen. And yet they're saying, how are we going to get enough bread to feed so great a crowd? But church, Christian, this is the same thing we say too. Jesus has fed the 4,000 in the past. He's fed the 5,000 in the past. Obviously, in the text of Scripture, he's done all kinds of other miraculous things as well. And we'll still come to the Lord and say, well, yeah, I see this hungry. I see this need. I see this great emptiness that's in our community. How exactly we're going to provide for all of this? We don't have the resources to do it. And then Jesus says this to us, verse 34. Jesus said to them, how many loaves do you have? Why don't you take stock of what you got, and then we'll see what we'll do with what you got. So they said 7 and a few small fish, and directing the crowd to sit down on the ground. So it's as if Jesus said, that's enough. That's all I need is 7. All I actually need is what you have, because I can multiply it. So he took the 7 loaves and the fish, and key here, Jesus gave thanks. He broke them and gave them to the disciples. And there he is multiplying. The bread is becoming more, the fish is going to be becoming more, and then the crowds gave them, or then the disciples gave them to the crowds. Again, you see the distinctions here. And they all ate and were satisfied. So off these 7 loaves of bread and these pieces of fish, the crowd was satisfied and they were full. And then they had food left over, and they took up 7 baskets full of the broken pieces left over. So Jesus was able to meet the need because of his great compassion and his unwillingness to send them away empty and send them away hungry. And he feeds them and satisfies each and every one of them. And those who ate were how many people? 4,000 men, besides women and children. And after sending away the crowds, he got into the boat and went to the region of Magadan. So here's our scriptural insight. Jesus has compassion and wants to take care of all people. Do you think that? We see that quite clear in this text. He is full of compassion, is unwilling to send them away hungry. My prayer was a prayer of praise, a prayer of praise you can have today. God, I praise you for your abundant compassion that caused you to feed these 4,000 people. Here's your promise to claim. Here's your application. I will believe that Jesus is unwilling to send people away hungry. And I'm going to claim that promise that Jesus, even today, is still being unwilling for people to go away hungry. And we could even put hungry in quotation marks. What is it that people are hungry for? What is it that they need? So, my question for you, and trying to apply how to claim this promise, is what does God want me to do for those in need around me? And you've heard me I've mentioned it a couple times in our sermon series, but we are trying to activate our ministry steering team and use them to truly activate all of our various ministries that we have, make sure they're operating at the best capacity, 100% capacity, and then also have a system in place, implement a system in place that we're able to both encourage and make sure those ministries are being well taken care of, but also start new ones that the Lord may be putting on your heart. So, what does God want me to do for those in need around me? What ministry might we birth here at Central Baptist Church a year from now? Because you're seeing a need and you're saying, yeah, there's probably something we can do about it. And I think there's about 10 to 12 of us. If we get 10, 12 of us from Central Baptist Church, we can probably make a pretty good dent in this need. We have some money, have some resources, have some organization. 10, 12 people probably get it done. What is it that the Lord's put on your heart? And I look forward to hearing from you in the next 3 to 4 months. I pray that it's been a blessing to you, and I'll see you in the next video.